Well, folks, here we have a couple Beatles talking albums. We've talked about the Beatles story. Now we have here the Beatles Tell All. Stick around. Well, hey there guys, thank you for joining us here at Rock Hard Riffs. This is the guitar channel for the self-taught and other cool rock and roll stuff. And here we have a Talking Beatles album. This is live in-person interviews recorded during their latest American tour. Here the Beatles Tell All. Crazy stuff. Only the Beatles would have albums like this. And only Beatlemaniacs would buy it, right? But this has some pretty interesting stuff on it. The truth about the talk that John is leaving the Beatles. Is John having another baby? Crazy stuff. The boys tell how they got their name. And there is no real A side or B side. There's just one side that has interviews with John, Paul, George, and Ringo. And then the other side is just John. So we'll take a gander at both sides. But here we have, after you listen to the Beatles disclosing intimate facts about themselves and each other, make sure you treat yourselves to other great hits, all on VJ and Tolly Records. So VJ was the original label that the Beatles were put on before they came to America, and then of course they used this stuff to exploit it. So, alright guys, let's not waste any more time. Let's listen to it, see what we got going. We'll just kind of skip around.
Ringo. Ringo, could I have a couple of words with you? I'd like you to tell me exactly what's exactly the matter with your throat. I understand.
Nothing.
In the news conference, you said that you were returning to University College.
Only because they want me to go in and have them out in case they start causing me any more trouble. It's just a safety precaution.
It is?
Yeah.
Is there any?
Yeah, believe me.
What do you think of Paul McCartney?
Oh, I like him. He's quite nice, you know.
Yeah?
Once you get to know him.
Is it true that Pete Best was going to sue you at one time?
No.
It is not.
No, believe me, it's not.
It is not
Honestly.
True? What about...
What can he sue me for?
Well, I didn't think he could either.
He can't. Well, he wasn't. I haven't heard about it anyway.
I see. What do
You
you
seem to hear more over here than we ever hear in England.
Well, so much of it is false.
Yeah.
What exactly are you planning on, when you plan on returning, do you know where you're going to stay yet, Ringo?
We're in England. Just stay with me
here.
Oh, no, I don't know.
How you doing, Dave?
I don't know when we get back now.
You don't know it yet?
No.
I see.
Alright, let's skip forward a bit.
The same with most of us, and the times we do get back to Liverpool, we spend just seeing our families.
You do get a chance to see your mother and father?
Yeah, occasionally.
It's still relatively very clear.
They come down to see me wherever I am.
Oh, they do get a chance to see you then?
But my parents have been very good in answering letters.
The best.
And I know she said, my mother said that she's had a lot of letters. In fact, more letters from California around this area than any other place.
I'm responsible for that, and I hope she's not upset in any way.
And George has that thick Liverpudlian
she
accent.
enjoys it, she likes it, and she likes all the...
Let's go in a little deeper.
Sneaking on the planes, eh?
Shh, don't say that.
They caught you, though, didn't they?
Yes, they did. What was it? Did you think of the title of A Hard Day's Night?
Yes.
How did you do it?
I don't know, it just came out. We went to do a job, you know, and we worked all day, and we happened to work all night, and I came out still thinking it was day, I suppose, and said, it's been a hard day. Looked around, it was dark, and said night. So we came to A Hard Day's Night.
What about your throat? I understand you're going back into the hospital this fall for a throat operation. Would you tell us about it?
I'm just going to get them out, you know, my tonsils, there's nothing the matter with them now. They've cured them, but all they're worried about is if they can go again, you see.
Some magazines have said no.
Let's go a little deeper.
We may go there, but I've never, you know, thought...
That's a long Ringo interview.
I didn't even know it was here, actually. But, no, we go to the places, and then you never know what happens, you know. May go to a club or something like that, but we've nothing planned.
How would you find the audience in Canada compared to the American audiences? Are they somewhat the same?
They're the same most of the world over. There's only Paris where they're different when you get your more fellas.
That's like the question to John. How did you find America? 10 left at Greenland. Okay, let's listen to side John Lennon.
Speaking with John Lennon, British Beatle extraordinaire.
Jim Steck is the interviewer.
Your tour here in Los Angeles is drawing to a close. I wonder if you have any particular comments to make about your visit to Los Angeles, John?
Well, it's been great and thrilling, and we saw a couple of film stars, which we wanted to do, And it's just great, and the bowl was marvellous.
What did you think about the audience and the way they, most of the people, there were more than 17,000 persons in the Hollywood Bowl, and of course not all of them teenagers, but for the most part they were young adults and your fans. I wonder if you'd care to comment on the way they conducted themselves the night of your performance.
Well, it was so good. It was almost too well behaved, They were very good, weren't they? I've never seen a crowd so big, so well behaved. Really, somebody did a great job.
Have you had a chance to listen to America's commercial radio?
Let's go a little deeper.
Actually.
Well, I'm losing count now. I think it's about 5 years, probably. That's not including Ringo. He's been with us about 3.
When your records first started coming over here, did you have any? Did you wonder whether or not they would be as successful as they were in England at the time?
We didn't think we stood a chance in Heath. We just didn't imagine it at all. We didn't even bother. We were just even when we came over to America the first time, we were only coming over to buy LPs. I know our manager had plans for Ed Sullivan shows, but we thought at least we'll hear the sounds when we get over there.
So it was just, you had no idea that your success would be so great and so powerful as it is today?
It was just out of the dark, that's the truth. It was so out of the dark. We were knocked out like we didn't know what happened.
Well, what made you decide?
Let's go a little deeper.
More than 20,000 in a football stadium, and here in the Hollywood Bowl you had 17,000. How does this compare with the turnout in the British Isles?
Well, in Britain there's not half as many people, probably not a quarter. And when we play a British theatre, it only holds 2,000. The maximum, that's the largest. They're like the old music hall things that you don't even have over here. The real old, these theatres were built years ago, or even cinemas we play. It's like going around all the cinemas. There's nothing like 20,000 crowds. The only time you get that is for football.
How do you feel about the reaction of teenage America, young America, to your music, and the way they show their appreciation of the Beatle music by their screaming and their shrieking and their cheering? Especially when you're performing. This is what I mean. You can hardly. The predominant sound, of course, is the enthusiasm from the audience.
Yeah. Let's go a little deeper.
We'll continue for a long time, but what do you plan for the future? I realize this is your career right now, but do you have any particular specialization that you care to make, like writing for motion pictures, or just continuing to write music, or what exactly?
I don't know. I just get asked this all the time, every day, and I wish I could think of just a straight answer, like I want to be a man who walks with his left leg in the gutter. I can't. I wouldn't mind writing songs. I wouldn't mind just
Who doesn't
singing,
love John Lennon?
to a limited audience. See, my voice might improve when I get older. They do, Or I wouldn't mind just writing books.
Yeah.
When did you write your first book?
Over a period of years. Most of it was written last year.
Do you plan another one in the very near future?
Yeah, I plan the more the merrier. If people like it as much as I do, I'll bring out millions.
You just write because you enjoy it.
Just one more, a little deeper, one more time.
He doesn't care. He probably had more fun there. And I call them semi-detached. That's sort of houses, half one house and half another house. Sort of upper middle class. They don't exactly own the shops, but they're one of those people. The ones that don't think they speak with an accent, but they do. Those people say, how to do? It's very nice to meet you. Thank you very much. And they think they speak in Oxford English, but they're all right people. You meet them, I suppose.
They kind of help make the world go right. Remember the other night at the airport we were discussing Dave Hull.
Remember that?
That's an example of John shutting up.
This is way to get popular. Find this one, Dave.
Dave is working. I think he's off by now. He gets off at midnight. He's going to be at the airport tomorrow morning. You're going to have a few words for him when you see him?
Yeah, I'll give him a few of the Rolling Stones addresses for a laugh.
Anything that you care to say in closing, John, about Los Angeles and about your visit here and about the tour so far here in America?
Good night and thanks for the bread.
good place to end. Well, guys, there you have it on VJ Records. Hear the Beatles Tell All in stereo. Pretty crazy stuff, huh? And I'm really amazed at the quality of that recording. That was very good, much better than my other bootlegs, but, you know, that's the nature of that. So, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. Again, I have done a previous video on this album, and I also have this on CD as well. It's in the American albums. So if you want to check that out, you can see that prior. And that's pretty cool stuff. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. Let me know if any of you have ever seen this album before or heard of it. Let me know, all right? Thanks for watching, my fellow Beatle fans, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And we will see you next video.